And we're probably live. Not really good at this. We're probably live. Yes, it is Saturday morning. It is about 10 minutes to 9 a.m. We're working on some indie games. I did not stream as usual on Monday because we had, my building and the building, like, all the buildings in the street are having some serious plumbing issues, and they have to keep coming into the basement. So it's kind of a wreck right now. They've sort of, like, everything in the basement is behind me in my office, which kind of sucks. But yeah, I haven't been able to stream much lately. Decided to just not care, and there's just going to be crap behind me, and we have to be cool with that. Also, I haven't been able to get that much done, so these things kind of dovetail together. But let me show you what I did do. Hold on, let me edit my audio here. I don't think much has changed. Last time you guys saw this game, I had already done the thing where I had, I added debug mode back in. I think on the stream last time we tweaked the trombone control scheme. Still pretty on the fence about that. After that, I did some work with materials. Specifically, I'm concerned that people don't get a feel for the grid, or at least they definitely weren't before. So I took the kind of texture that I had that had painted the world, and I kind of tried to add basically all the brush strokes for the paint now go along with the grid. So you kind of get a small sense of the grid. You can kind of see how, like, this is 3 tiles high, maybe. This is 2 tiles high. And I kind of just try to get some of those ideas into this texture. Other texture work I did, I'm not sure if you can see it here. You can kind of also see that the outlines of that texture on the blue. The blue looks a little bit more textured than it used to. Trying to find a good example. Another thing I did was I added a kind of scribble effect, which I do sort of like. Just not quite sure how to get you to see it in this area. Let's try. Maybe like this level. Yeah, see the kind of scribble on here? It gets a little darker as you go down. Basically, I've been working on the texture I use for the roofing area. And if you have an area that, like, see how you're getting a little bit of scribble when you hit a glancing angle on some of this stuff? That's sort of something I'm playing with. This is an experiment. I kind of like it. So that was something I was playing with. What else happened? Those are kind of the biggies. Last night, I thought about streaming because I wanted to see what it would take to get a Steam... I want to get a Steam page so people can start wishlisting it. Good morning, Thomas. You've cracked a version of Kind, Raymarch? It's not cool, man. Right, I said I was gonna stream that, but the reality is, like, setting up a Steam page was mostly me entering my social security number and address several times over, so that wouldn't have been something I should stream. Also, it's gonna take 7 days for them to, like, approve my account and verify I'm a human and stuff. But what we can do, what I think we're gonna do today. First off, let me explain why I'm doing this. The way Steam works, okay, I don't know anything about marketing, but here's what I do know. I can't reach people unless they wishlist the game on Steam. Like, I have no way of organically finding people through Steam. So my only hope is as I develop this, like as I'm streaming, I get people to wishlist the game. Which I can't do until I have a page so that people can wishlist it. I can't make a page until I, like, jump through about 1 billion hoops. So we're gonna start jumping through some hoops today. Do you use that layout in UE because you came from, or use Unity? No, this isn't, I don't use Unity. This is just my preferred layout. I'm usually on two screens, so I have this on one screen. I'm usually working with animation stuff more at work, so I don't have, like, I know if I was working in the editor, if I was working mostly with levels, I'd probably break this out. Like, I've seen how Chad sets up his Unreal. It looks different. Ray March is gonna give me a fake ID. Hey Middle, good morning, man. Yeah, the black dots are grid aligned, Thomas. That's part of getting it all, like... I'm trying to get people to feel the grid without doing the standard things you do to show people where the grid is, which is mostly, like, literally draw the grid. I thought about this early on, and I think there's actually a lot of different things people could try, like... whatever. A lot of them wouldn't fit with his art style, though. Oh yeah, there's another thing I just started doing. I was playing around with effects. This was fun. That was late one night, I actually forgot about that. Like, what would happen if we painted the clouds in? I'm just not super jazzed about it yet. Also, in order to make it work, I had to put like 1 billion different particle emitters. Well, 10 particle emitters that all emit like 6 to 8 particles at a time. So I'm not sure if that's a good idea, but it's an interesting thought. One of the things I'm thinking about is, in order to make it so that I can work on the gameplay longer, I don't want to have the fog plane actually conform completely and utterly to the world. Also, I need to figure out what's going to happen when I fade out a level, because the camera goes through a level. So I'm still trying to figure that stuff out. And I think having particle emitters you can turn on and off would be useful. And like, I don't know. I'm still thinking that through. The pouring down of smoke. This over here. I think it's a good start. This is one of the things I want to work on. Maybe today, actually. Just getting this to look a bit better. I think it's close. Especially if you're actually playing the game, looking out. I don't know, man. We'll get there. We're not there yet. Thanks, Middle. Good morning, Blitzplum. Alright, yeah, so what I was saying was, I think I want to start getting some Steam stuff together. This is going to take me an eternity, because I'm bad at, like, 2D graphic kind of stuff. So you're just going to watch me suffer today. That's, I think, what we're going to do. In order to make a Steam storefront page, I need 5 goddamn screenshots, which is, like, I have one. I have this one that I like. And you'll see, like, this is where it was before, this is where it is with the texture pass I did. So you can see how, like, here you can actually see how this texture before was kind of just, it was meant to just be sloppily painted, whereas now it's very intentionally has cuts along where the grid is. And also, I did some stuff to kind of give it a bit of thickness. Anyway. Right. Anyway. That's a tangent. So, we're gonna... things we're gonna do is... This was gonna be my second screenshot. I'm not super happy with it yet. Also, this is not up to date. We can get a better version of that. I've been working on this project since I started streaming in, what, September, guys? Part-time, though. Like, I have a full-time job. Marketing. Okay. So, let's get some lights on. Does that look a bit better? Okay. Okay, whatever. So this is, yeah, some things have changed since then. Anyway, this will be screenshot 2 at some point. I have some other screenshots started. The big thing that I haven't even really begun yet is... I should put this in a folder. Steam. Okay. This stuff. So Steam has like... We need a large capsule. First off, I've got to figure out where these actually are in the storefront, and then I have to make them. Like, where do these things go? What is the difference between this and this? Let's figure it out. Steam.com. This must exist. The shadows are a bit strong here. Yeah, there's a lot of things I don't like about this screenshot. Like this one, the problem with this screenshot is I feel like it's not going to be done until the game is fucking arted. I don't know, man. I hate that I have to do these screenshots. I have a couple others that I had started considering. Like, if you recall, back when we, oh, I accidentally did that. Where was it? If you recall, I took this at the end of one stream. Again, this is the old art style, so I have to take this again, but I think I still have... I'm pretty sure if I wanted to, I still have the command in there. I'm careful to keep that all up and alive. Nope. Nope, that's broken. Oh shit, no it's not. Ha! Okay. So, this is that screenshot again. So that's where it was like when I took this a week and a half ago. This is where the art is now. Not much has changed. I guess it has changed for a bit there. Oh, look at that. That's a bit better. Anyway. Yeah. Yeah, jump is. There's a lot to do here. Steam's pretty adamant that they want actual screenshots these days. And that's what these are. Like, I'm just playing a save file and then changing cameras. So, like when I take these screenshots, especially for this one, it's literally just starting the game and then playing a save file 6 moves in and then moving the camera, like snapping the camera from the main menu to this. So this is an authentic screenshot, and as the game updates, this updates, as you can see. But yeah, they're pretty adamant about not having bullshit on your storefront page that's not screenshots. At least they say they are. And I'm not a big deal, so I don't think I could get away with like I bet Rockstar could probably do whatever they want with Call of Duty, but I don't think they would let me get away with putting concept art on there. Anyway, that's one of the screenshots. I need 5 total. I might just punt on this one. You're right. I just don't know if I can get it there in time. Let's not worry about that right now. Let's worry about the storefront stuff. You can't reach Steam.com. Is this a drill? It auto connects me to Steam Spy, for fuck's sake. Steamgames.com. Oh, for fuck's sake. Store.steampowered.com. Alright. So we're gonna start matching things up here. Do you want to see the game, Jump S? I'll show you the game. Kind is a narrative 3D puzzle game about a trio of machines that dream of being musicians, so they practice music at night. I thought I deleted my save, but apparently I didn't. Whatever. I'll just start from here. It's less cool, but you move around on this grid. And your goal is to kind of get around through the world. Here, I'll play the music real quick. Desktop audio. Gotta think of something for that. As you can see, the puzzles get significantly harder. This is just kind of the starting area. This is kind of the first third of the game is more like this. Get you out of this. Once you get a little later on, things get more complicated. Oh, that's unexpected. My little musicians gotta work together. Oh shit, no. So that's kind of what we're all about right here. Glad you like it, Jump S. See, this shit like this is why I need a Steam wishlist page so people can see this and then wishlist it, and then I can find them later. Because my fear is development happens so slowly, people are gonna think it's cool and then wander off and then never, like, see it, right? So yeah. Storefront. We're doing it. Also, this is gonna take me forever. Because it just does. These things always take so much longer. So why does Steam need two images that are this similar? Let's figure that out, huh? One is called header and one is called capsule. Let's look at their page here. Hopefully this is, do you need me to sign in? Don't be, I gotta be like this, Steam. Everyone's gonna know who I am. I don't really care. There's like 30 people that follow this shit. My login name is Impish Eyes. I said it like 10 years ago when I was in high school. Don't judge me, alright? Jesus. Alright. 10 years ago when I was in high school. I don't remember when I said it. Alright. Ugh. These all look the same. So this size is what? Alright, so header goes in places like this. I think I know this one. This one will be the... That little one I honestly think is probably the most important. Capsule large, header, capsule main. Let's just look at them all. Okay, so capsule small. This is the one that's gonna go like here. So a sec. Okay. So let's start with this. This will give us a good starting point. So I want to work on the thing that goes... Oh, why is it shrinking it? God damn it. It's almost certainly the case, though, that this goes here. My keyboard is twice as loud as my voice. Guess I could move the mic. It's a little awkward, but... Do I have Bioshock in this? Probably. I mean, definitely, actually, yeah. I mean, I got the game for free, obviously. I can pull up the source code and just play that shit, man. So, this is what people will see. I like Chucho, that's such a cute... I want to play that. Alright. What do I want here? This is what I did last night. And then I was just too tired to think. I got that far. That is not very far. Also, it's not very good. I think let's start with the base assumption of I want it outlined. And then let's go from there. A little... I want a character on there. I want a pop of yellow. Also, this might be blue. I don't know yet. We'll figure this out. I think I need to get Rue in this. Thanks, Thomas. That's interesting. I definitely did consider just having the dots be the corners, too. I could go either way with it. I felt like the dots being the corners is pretty standard. I don't know. It's not a wall of text, man. I'm capable of reading 2 sentences. We're good. I think what I want is actually a render of Rue. Alright, maybe we should back up. Maybe I should stage The one thing I haven't staged yet is a screenshot of Rue. I want to get... What do I have of her? God, that's old as shit. But basically, like, the idea would be... Ooh. Is she not cut out from the world? That's a no. Why are you doing this? You could be not doing this. That would be nice. Just give me... There. Like if it was the updated version of Rue. Maybe. You left me on the other side? I feel like we're copying Chuchel at this point. But it was my idea too. It's not really an unusual idea. Thing is, in some games you want kind of like the world in the background. And this one. That I'd look done. I think when I take the screenshot, I want her facing this way. I'm calling it Kine. It's short for kinematic. I was told, I was at the bar and I was explaining to a buddy of mine, Eitan, about like Kine. And he was like, well, why did you call it Kine? And I was like, well, it's short for kinematic. He's like, oh, I like Kine, but you should never tell anyone that because they'll think the game's about math. It sounds like math. Nobody likes math. I'm like, it's a game about 3 characters named Euler, Quat, and Rue, set in Euclidean space. And he's just like, yeah, but none of that sounds like math stuff. It's like, I don't know how to handle that kind of feedback, man. feel like I gotta strongly disagree on that. I think you might be missing something pretty key here. I love how opinionated everyone is in this industry, though. It does make things really fun. Kind of says what the game's about, a bit, in a shitty sort of way. See, Churchill, I wish that game will be gone long before I come out, because they're doing exactly what I was thinking. More negative space, focus on one character. Because a lot of these thumbnails look so busy. If you just keep it clean. I think something like that would play well if this was like real art. Definitely looks like indie bullshit though, right? This looks like it could be AAA. This is, well, whatever, it's the art style. I think we're gonna escape that. See, I don't like this. I was tempted to go with gradient, and then I saw this, and I'm like, eh. That would have looked better if they'd outlined it. Also, just from this distance, it's so hard to read the red and the yellow. Like, if that Warhammer was just all yellow, that would have been much more readable. It looks like a spooky game, you think? Yeah, I could see that. I was hoping the colorful, like if we keep it brightly colored, people won't think it's spooky. Spooky aesthetics are usually more desaturated, darker. I can always just amp up the brightness, and I think that'll do it. Though I can definitely see what you're saying. It looks like chalk on a keyboard, kind of creepy. Once we get Rue in there smiling, I bet it, like, once we get an updated version of her smiling and stuff, I think it'll look better. Probably in her accordion form. Let's make that. Yeah, I really like what Churchill did. Churchill, I don't know how to say that. That's a good screen. That's a good thumbnail. Reads well. Okay. What are we gonna do here? How am I gonna get this render of Rue? Should I do it right in the world somewhere? I feel like... Let's call this marketing. I'll admit this is bullshit. These are just scale meshes. They're not pawns being controlled by code, obviously. It's just way easier to stage this shot. There was no way to get this shot without a little bit of bullshit. Okay. I don't know where to go with you. I feel like for the actual screenshot, maybe we should set that up now. That would actually be good right about here. Yeah, no, I'm taking a hard left turn, but I think I might actually work on that screenshot. Hold on. Because this is too good. Paste. Okay. On begin play. Get all actors that are attached to. Hey. On begin play. Get all actors attached to Rue. New variable, which is an array of actors. Skill mesh actors. Is that what I called them? Yeah. That just updates. Yes. Alright. Get all actors attached to Rue. And then add actually that scale mesh for each of those. Go through their materials, set is active. This turns them from blue, with their default when they're like this, to the yellow that you see when they're brightened. I'm just tacking that in. Set the current pawn height. This changes the elevation of the, so this is a material parameter, the ground height, which just sets where in the world space texture I want the ground level to be. Which is 3,000, which already is. Pawn location 3,300, 600, 2,600. Wait, what? 6,000, 2,600. This is important for setting the spotlight. So these are the two material parameters that determine that. How much will the game be? Shit, man, I have no idea. Getting way ahead of ourselves here. Yeah, I have soda and coffee. It's a week until GDC and I'm tired. Alright. I'm not sure that actually works anymore. Also, it definitely doesn't work because it doesn't have a controller hooked up. Game mode, get the level art segments. 4, what level are you on? Opening levels 03. For all of them, find. If you're opening level 03, turn on the light. I don't know if I want that. Set the material from undrawn to drawn. I don't think I want this. Yeah. So that'll happen as soon as you're loaded. Also, change to key art. Piano cam. I need a camera. Let's grab this one. Or not. Be weird about it. That's cool too. Let's grab this one. Piano. Marketing. Rue Simple. God, I have no naming. Whatever. They're throwaway maps. Okay. So we want the screenshot to be where here? Let's start out having it be like this, maybe. Assume that that's not in there. That might be too similar to the other screenshot. I have one area where I've actually finished the art though, so I kind of gotta reuse it as much as possible. I say finish the art loosely, in that I have not finished the art at all. I feel like this should be the close-up. Or we could try like so when I call this custom event, change my view target to this camera, which I'm gonna rename something like Rue camera. Here's my marketing debug. that. Marketing accordion style? Sure. Accordion. Piano. Change UI, no HUD. Okay, so this just gets rid of the HUD. This needs to load. Can't get the name. Marketing key art roo simple. Fine. Delay 2 seconds. Destroy all pawns. Change to key art. What did I call it? Key art piano cam. Later, Thomas. What do you have the title text blue for? Oh, blur? Oh, that was an experiment I tried. I actually didn't use that. That can go away. This is all pretty throwaway. There's different GIFs I want to make. Basically they're going to be very still, but like little things will flicker or move. They'll probably be based on these screenshots when I'm done. But we'll see. And at some point I do need a trailer for, like Steam requires that in order to even have a page for people to wishlist. So obviously I've been thinking about that a lot. Because I like making trailers. It's one of my favorite things. Why? Let's find out. Oh yeah, you actually didn't like this, huh? This kind of pissed you off when I did that. That's okay. Oh, probably because it's not an array. It's a bit of a thing. Why use in-game camera when you can use cinematic camera? What do you mean? Are you talking about the specific, like, cinematic camera actor? There's nothing I really super need from that, as far as I know. You can... I mean, what would that get me? Using a different actor for the camera? Oh, well, the HUD is... like, it takes one line of blueprint to hide the HUD. And there's other things I have to do. Like, the reality is, no matter what, I'm going to need to change the materials over so the level is lit. Among other things, so. Yeah, I don't know. I just didn't see any benefit. They both have all of the same FOV stuff, as far as I can tell. The cinematic camera is useful if you're, for things like trailers too, if you want to attach it to a boom and move it around. From what I understand, that stuff, like, that's the real reason. For screenshots, it really doesn't matter, I don't think. For actual cinematic stuff where you're really trying to get the if you want to use their boom system and a lot of the cinematic system they have, I think that's when you really want to lean into the cinematic camera. What are we doing here? Alright, this is good. still. That did nothing. Why did that do nothing? Piano still. Literally, it did nothing, huh? Did it at least hide the HUD? I wasn't paying attention. Marketing, key art, Rue simple. I don't know what you're saying, Uphill. I feel like you've been hacked. Alright. Okay, so we're starting. I hate that, but you know, like, it's a start. Also, where's your other limb there, girl? What's going on with that, huh? I just didn't get the other one. I only get one, I guess. Oops. Are you attached? Damn it. Okay. Yeah, Plenard. There's a lot of things I need to fix, man. That in particular is not the highest priority. This looks weird because... Okay. So in game the lighting would have turned, but it's not happening here, so I need to cheat that. I've already done this before. Haven't I? This is staging. Cinematic. Get the dynamic camera. Rotation. Selector rotation. There's a lot of things I want to do with the chase lighting, by the way, Planard. That's like not even... has not yet begun. Because I want it to... It's good that it goes to the music, but right now it randomly assigns the lights to one of 4 groups and then it blinks them to the music, whereas what I want it to do, like eventually that'll be choreographed. And when I do that, I'll do a bunch of other stuff. It's just not enough time in the day, man. Also, that's gonna probably come later, because where the lights are is, you know, like, depending on the layout of the game, and blah blah blah. I am streaming the stream. Rory, you've been quiet for a while. You came in with the thunder earlier, and now you're chilling. Yeah, I don't know if I... See, now that you mention it, I don't like kind anymore. Like that treatment of the text. Because you're right. Okay, why does this look so bad? What's the deal with my lighting here? I hate how weird this gets. It's actually really hard to manipulate. Came in with the thunder. I can't turn left. Turn left. Shit. Okay, well what if... Is it the directional lighting that's all fucked? I feel like it's gotta be. Where is... I gotta get rid of that shit. Do I not have the camera? What's the dynamic? Oh, yeah, here we go. So, what if you were negative 90? Can I just change that? Oh, that's way worse. Nope, nope, you should be 90. 0? 90? Okay, 90's correct. You were right. Alright, so why do you look all weird and blown out? Is it the spotlight up here? Yeah, let's just cheat a bit. Do I look like that in game? Was it not you, Rory? I get you. No, it was Ray March. My bad, man. I confused you and Ray March. Hey, Cynical Sandal, what's up, man? Okay, well, now that looks even worse. The hell did I just do that for? My bad. Rory. Hey, Galactic, what's up, man? This looks like ass, and I don't know why. It just looks so flat. I'm not crazy, right? Like that's not what the game looks like. Maybe you just never get that close. Can I... You're not gonna let me do that. Of course you're not. Well. Glad you like it, Fly Mario. And hey, Galactic 3D, I'm sorry I didn't answer. I'll run through it again in a sec. Hey, Tap Crush, what's up, man? Let me just get this bit done. Well, it's not great, but... that's staging for one of the screenshots. Alright. So my screenshots will be this one, kill me, this one for the drummer. I need fog or dust or something. I need to start taking notes. Let's see. Like, this needs to have dust hanging in the air and stuff. Like, there's just no... it's just so flat. There's just so much work to do on, like, all this crap. Anyway. 1, 2, 3. This will eventually be a good screenshot. 4. And then... this obviously needs a shit ton of work, right? But... alright. Those will be the 5 screenshots someday. God damn it. What are you doing? There we go. 1, 2, 3. It's not too far. Definitely put all the screenshots with the character on the left and the world on the right. Literally all of them. Maybe I should rethink that. This is the screenshot that needs the most work. Maybe I'll rethink the trombone one. Well, this is the screenshot that needs the most work, but that's a nightmare. Also, I fucking took it with a trombone loaded. God damn it, guys. Okay. Whatever, at least there's a plan. Okay. See, this is an actual in-game character. Do you see how much more dramatic the lighting is than, like, the staged ones? Something's up. Doing something, specifically this one. I did something wrong with the lighting. Camera looks low. Not sure. Galactic 3D, are you still in here, man? If you are, I'll run through the game. I'm at a breaking point. But if you've already left, then you are SOL. Or I'm SOL. One of those two. Well, probably me. Galactic is gone. Oh, shit, he's still here. Or she, sorry. I make no judgments. Alright. This is Kine. Kine is a narrative 3D puzzle game about a trio of machines, the dream of being musicians, so they practice music at night. I'm gonna delete my save. Now I'm just talking to stretch out the time a bit. So I can delete my save. Bam. And I'll turn on the music, because it's nice. Obviously, this is all super temp. I'm still working on all this stuff. You roll around in this little world. I gotta rethink this. I need these elements not be in your way. So that was Rue. That's Rue before she becomes an accordion. This is kind of like the opening area, where you're getting used to these characters and how they move and stuff. This is Quat. As you get on. So that's kind of like the opening area. And this is what you see here is about the first third of the game. And as you get on later, I can just unlock this stuff. Here's kind of an example of a later level. You gotta get the band together. And then they make music together. I know how to beat this, so it's a lot easier for me. I haven't even met him yet. This is Euler. Euler's pretty cool. Euler's a trombone. Oops. You kind of get the idea. So this game is called Kine. Greatest game of all time, Galactic. Where do ideas come from? Shit, I don't know. Do you think this is Steven Sausage Roll? It's the opposite of Steven Sausage Roll. In that game, all you have is yaw and translate. In this game, you can't yaw or translate. They're completely different. They couldn't possibly be more different if you think about it. But don't think about it. Definitely don't think about it at all. You should play Steven Sausage Roll, though. That game is really good. I did love it. Thank you, Tap Crush. Yeah, so... I don't think it was a catalyst. It was definitely really helpful, though, I will say. Because I started this before, like... I started making a puzzle game with these characters kind of before that, right? It was just real shitty. Like, because the levels were huge and it was not fun to move around. Like, I thought it was fun to move around. But yeah. Definitely the idea of making it a puzzle game where all the puzzles are really small totally did come from that. Definitely. That game was really good. It was definitely... In fact, I kind of had to change things to be less like Steven Sausage Roll. In the beginning, it was a very big map, and you had a trash can. You were a bunch of machines. There was like a lot of ideas early on. Like you were a little computer that was running away. And you could, instead of there being multiple characters, you just could switch out your gear and shit to be different things. And you were pushing this trash can around, and one of the things you could do was like spear the trash can, flip over twice, and like your goal, there was AI, and your goal was to like get the rat into the trash can, so it was kind of more of a Sokoban game. Yeah, that was really way too much work and never gonna happen. But I got rid of all the anything that was remotely similar to Sokoban, so that didn't feel at all like Steven Sausage Roll. Also because it just wasn't fun. There was a lot of different versions of this. I pitched a bunch of stupid little robot games. Had a lot of fun. I like where they ended up though. This is good. This makes me happy. The BattleBots was still one of my favorites. I still have like a million sketches of the BattleBots. It was called Socket League, and it was going to be the greatest multiplayer game of all time. Someday I'll make that. I'll never make that. Everything I just said there is a lie. It was great. If there's an idea in your head, it's perfect. And because you don't have to deal with the actual problems of like implementing and making that. But yeah, Socket League would have been the greatest game of all time. Fucking strategy esport, man. Okay, where was I? We have 5 screenshots, technically, eventually, when I clean them up. This one being the shittiest. We have a lot of blank page to figure out. And this is the beginning of, right. So let's do the thing we were gonna do before but didn't because I got distracted by my own idiocy. Alright, marketing. So let's rename this from I'm gonna do some dangerous shit here. So we're gonna call you marketing image. Piano. Or how about I'll just copy this. No, where'd you go? No, there's going to be no user-generated content, as far as I know. I don't know how I would work that in. Oh crap, I never logged into Perforce. Oops. Don't get me wrong, I love user-generated content. I just don't know how to make it. It just doesn't fit, I don't think, for what I'm making. Oh my god, do I still have the trash can in the game that I was talking about? Did I never delete that? That should have been cleaned up. That was the trash can. Yeah, the materials are gone now. Proof. Once upon a time, this was a game about sparing a trash can and catching rats. Levels. Marketing. Alright. These are now added in Perforce. So see, Unreal doesn't know what the actual name is. I don't know how this works. Okay. This is the first one. Please don't crash. You didn't. Groovy. Alright. Persistent. So now just to make sure that'll still work later. Piano. All right. So now let's make the actual beauty shot of just Rue. How do I want to do that, huh? Why do you think this is empty? That's incorrect. So why are these two different sizes? That's also very strange. So Rue Simple definitely has shit in it. Yeah, weird. Just didn't show last time. Okay. Let's add the background level. Let's add I'm adding this to the world just so that I have the... This blueprint has the camera, but it also has the directional lighting in it. So it'll make it look more like the game if I have this. Because the directional lighting moves with the camera. Set your rotation to be... There. I don't need that anymore. Begin play, get controller, get player controller, get HUD, cast a HUD blueprint, change UI, no HUD. Okay. Not beautiful, but let's see. Do I kind of want her to the side a bit? Yeah. Hi, Chobo. I don't think I need help with level streaming right now. I'm just trying to get a beauty shot of this character, basically, to use for a thumbnail. So a very small beauty shot. Oh, yeah, I see. Sorry. So these are the templates that Valve gives you. And you have to give them art for each of these. And they also come with, like, the templates have these tags, which is just there to warn you, like, if it's DLC, Valve will be throwing this tag on there, kind of thing. I think it's that. Or maybe they expect you to do that. I don't really know. But yeah, this is the template Valve gives you when you're setting up the storefront. Not really sure what the guidelines mean either. Does this mean they're gonna crop to this? What is this about? Why are there two? Oh, figure it all out, man. Hey, Jeva. Revert to the Perforce playable commit? Oh, no. I'll show footage of it if you want to see it. Oh, some of that stuff happened before I set up the Perforce at home. I set that up when I realized things were getting out of control. Gotcha. Yeah, no, I just figure I'll do it the way. Like, they have this. This seems nice. Might as well use it. The goal is this. Get her looking like that. As the accordion, not as the piano. Problem is, doesn't look good yet. The lighting that I usually get in game isn't there. She usually has a spot. Thought I copied that over. Yeah, it's just in a crazy space. Alright. In game, you're in world space above the character. I think it's 800 units, always aimed at the character. So that'll help, though. I do feel like this might benefit from a little bit of cheating. Yikes. Some harsh-ass lighting. Hey, didn't I copy over the dynamic camera? Where'd that go? So say all my lighting is gone. That's some bullshit. There. Oh, it's just gonna be staying in a cube. Let's just put the cube. $70. Weird. Okay. Good morning, Tom. What's up, man? Thanks, Chobo. Goodbye, man. Something. Oh, yeah, of course. Not too bad, Tom. Pretty much just hunkered down. Wrong thing. It doesn't look very playful. The text treatment specifically. It does look way too horror. I don't want it to look childish either. Maybe I should look at like calligraphy. That doesn't feel right. Maybe it just needs to be like... if it was like fatter. See, that doesn't look like horror, does it? I like that treatment. I like that K a lot better, actually. Yeah, okay. Let's, the hell? Oh, I'm opening that in the wrong application. Art source, calling. Did I get rid of the actual kind? That's pretty dumb of me. Sounds like something I would do. It's okay. It's not like I broke that out anyway. Okay. Don't remember when I made this either. Let's try again. I like that a lot. I really like that, actually. That's kind of fun. I'm gonna ruin it by using a mouse. Okay, let's see. Hey, where'd that go? Did I lose that? be doing with the mouse, guys? Maximum ridiculousness. I might have to get on my Wacom tablet. It might be time. That looks way less horror. don't even see a K anymore. I don't know if I'm like stupid. This isn't even reading as a K. I don't want to have any arcs. Oh, that'll do. That looks less like a horror game. Alright, so I've been ignoring the chat. Holy shit. That was not exactly what I was going for. I was going for, the one I was looking at when I was working was this. I want something with a lot of straight edges because the game is a grid-based game. Not something with a lot of arcs. At least initially that's what I was thinking. I want something that looks like it was sketched. I want something where there's a lot of little double lines because that tends to happen a lot in game. I just wanted something that felt like the game. I felt like somebody scribbled it real quick in a pen. That is cute though. That's adorable actually. I like that. I feel like if I was going to open a cupcake shop, I would totally use this. Oh, interesting. Yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, more like La La Land. Yeah, I could see that. It has occurred to me that this will look... You're right, when people are scrolling through the shop, it won't look like a, what do you call it? I don't want it to look like a kid's game. I don't want it to be what it's not either, though, you know? I don't know. We'll get there. I'll try different things. But... Oops. That's an upgrade from that, I think. It's locked, eh? The shit. Okay. It is totally gonna look like a kid's game. That's the drawback. This is not good at all. That E looks a little derpy, but not the worst. I don't know. I think a logo with a microphone or some kind of element like that. That just doesn't feel right. You like that I picked the 990? I picked Chacho because I like their logo a lot. And I don't know how to pronounce it, but that's adorable. It's brilliant. It pops too. Everybody else went dark, they went light. They have a ton of negative space. 3 colors, very simple and clean. Does that read as a kid's game? Maybe. I don't know anything about it, really. Looks adorable. Looks really cute. This obviously pops too, just like so much yellow. You can definitely see the, especially with Steam being this blue background, that yellow pops really well. It's actually something I should consider. Hey, Meat Plows. You think the Vermintide one is the most standout? I definitely read Vermintide. I can't read Warhammer. If I sit back, like, I just don't see that. The red and the yellow, like the red, it's too much for such a small thumbnail. I think the Vermintide does stand out very well, though. You're right. I mean, they're all good. And maybe they didn't care if you read Warhammer on this particular thumbnail. You don't think they're all good, Tom? Which one don't you like? Like, they're good in their own ways. This definitely stands out on the blue background, just the yellow is a huge win, though that wouldn't necessarily work on every storefront. I don't think this is good. I think this is busy, but they know their audience. Like, that's what their audience wants to see, is a anime girl in this style. The fact that I don't like this is probably more personal preference. This is busy and too much for such a small thumbnail. I don't really have a solution there. It's a very long title. I'll give it to you. Hearts of Iron is maybe not the best one here. Yeah, okay, this is pretty bad too. I won't say it's bad. It could be better. We should look at the top sellers. Actually, yeah, what the hell are we doing here? Guys, let's take a moment and be a little bit... Let's be a little bit aspirational, okay? We're not going to use this screen anymore. We're going to use this one. There, that's better. Top sellers, kind. Fucking number 1. No, then we can't see it in sequence. Alright. Yeah, do you see the difference? Oh, God, I don't like Hearts of Iron. It's not good. I also, well, it stands out more. Nobody else goes with blue. That's interesting. I wonder why. Black on white, you can definitely see that. Classic, stands out everywhere. Kind of boring though. It's gotta be a happy medium here because this is just too saturated. That just looks shitty. They both look kind of shitty. They need an art pass real bad. Like somebody to paint over it. Oh yeah, Tom thought the same things I did. Rocket League. It's hard to criticize Rocket League. It's fucking Rocket League. They're killing it, man. It is a weird logo, though. They managed to get it in there. I think they just wanted to... I don't know what they wanted. Like, what else would you have put there? They needed to put something. It could have been the ball. That would have been my instinct, I think. Having never played Rocket League. I don't know what their goals were. It's entirely possible they just didn't think it through. Lord knows. We like to attribute meaning to things when people just don't think them through a lot of times. I haven't thought through most of the shit I do. It's not ideal. Okay, we need to... This can't be as saturated as I made it. It's too far. Too far, too gross. really want to do is kind of like... I want to do that. Hey Squishy P, what's up, man? I see it harkens back to MLB. Yeah, I'm not the target audience for that game. It's like, are you into cars and sports? No. Maybe that game's not for you. And I appreciate it. I've come to actually appreciate football since I moved to Boston, which I didn't think I ever would. People get so excited about it here, though, and there's always beauty in something done well, regardless of what it is. I feel like there's a way to do this, I'm just not hitting it yet. hell? Yeah, but no. That stands out. Image of her is confusing. So let me catch up. Oh, did you read Dan's post? My god, wasn't that beautiful? Meat plows, holy shit, man. I love Dan. He is insane. I was in Discord with him when he was describing it, and he's just like, fuck it, I can't get a programmer. I can't get a I just, you know what, I have an idea. And I was just like, what's your idea, Dan? And I was like, you need to make a blog post about that, Dan. That's insane. I thought that was the most beautiful thing. Holy shit, man. For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, Dan Lowe from EA, he's working in their, what do they call it, Frostbite. And he needed to do something where he needed to get the like he needed to get the animation that he had in game out of the cinematic and into, in his case, Motion Builder. This is a common thing. Like I'll pull some animation back from like Unreal into Maya, just so that you can tweak things very specifically. See how if you see animations blending in game and you kind of want to like just see that in Maya, so you can tweak it there. Anyway, he was trying to pull it out into Motion Builder. I don't know why, but there was no way to do that. But what he could do was write a log thing that would check the bone transforms of like all he needed was the root bone, and just print that to the screen. And so he printed it to the log, and he frapsed it as he was printing it to the log. And then he's like, well, what I can do is I can use one of those things you have online that'll detect characters and will make a text file out of it. So I took his video file of this spew of like bone transforms, did one of those things that converts it to a text document, loads up that test, then now he has a text document that has the spew of the bone transforms each tick, and then he took that and he wrote a script real quick in Motion Builder that just moved a bone with those transforms. It's the stupidest hack I've ever seen. I thought it was brilliant. I wanted to cry. It was so beautiful. Who would do that? Dan Lowe. That's who would do that. That's some real desperation right there, man. I've had those moments. That's when you usually write some shit that really gets your studio in trouble, too. Oh, please, man. You're gonna have that with any engine, Remarch. There's no engine that's perfect. Frostbite looks pretty slick. Remarch, what's the alternative? I thought it was brilliant. Man, hacks like that just make my goddamn day. I love it. Yeah, I think they canceled it, though Autodesk is definitely announcing something cool this year at GDC. I don't know what they're announcing. It's secret, but they've put some money into marketing, which means they're announcing something pretty cool. In general, I don't want to speculate because I know too much. But, like, looking at the floor print of the expo hall is interesting this year. I'm excited for GDC. Holy shit, it's only a week away. I'm not going to get this storefront up in time for GDC. I was kind of hoping to, but there's just no way, man. I'm going to spend a fucking day on this one image, and I'm going to not like it. Also, just it takes time for them to verify my tax identification number, so it's probably just not at all possible. Boo. Maybe that's the best. It can always be for the best if you want it to be. I'm always skeptical about the engines that they build straight out of Maya, or in the, like, back in the day they used to build engines using 3ds Max as your viewport. There is something nice about having the separation where as an artist you can like slap locators and shit all over your file and just make a mess, and have there be absolutely no chance that file makes it into the engine, because you have this kind of clean cut, which is you export it and then you import it into the engine, which gets rid of, like, Max and Maya have just so much stuff in them, right? Because they're these behemoth tools that are meant to make films. So, and it's cool that you have the access to that stuff, because you can, like, set up your own dynamic system, bake it down to joints and all that, and then you have hair follicles hanging out in your scene. But that'll fuck up your... If the engine's trying to read into those Max files, like some of the older engines used to, it can kind of create a nightmare scenario. And it sucks that you have to clean up your files that much as an artist. I don't know. I go back and forth on how nice it is to have the hot updating stuff between your engine and your DCC tools. Interesting. I definitely was curious to see what Autodesk would do if they made a game engine, because it would definitely be very different. They're coming at it from the completely opposite direction, in that they are a team that makes tools for artists, now they're making an engine. It could have been interesting. I mean, I've been with Unreal for so long. I always think of Unreal as being the engine that is the most artist-friendly, by far. Unity is easier to get into, but once you get into it, like, as an artist, you can do anything in Unreal. It's definitely an engine designed for people who want to make content. Look really good. But I mean, Autodesk had the opportunity to be a contender, maybe. But no more. Yeah, that makes sense. Remarch, are you writing an engine? Also, you're working with Blender. Indie as fuck, man. Way to go. Alright. I think I'm just going to delete this, because I think it confuses the silhouette. They could just buy engines. See how well that worked for Amazon. Maybe if you buy your engine, make sure that the company that you bought the engine from can't just keep working on the engine and rebrand it. Whoops. I don't know. I have opinions about that stuff. The shit is going on here? As a general rule, anytime somebody set out to make an engine, it doesn't work out very well. Usually you set out to make a game. Well, you set out to make an engine and a game at the same time. Like my buddy Tommy set out to just make an engine, for instance, and he's brilliant. He was like the tech director of Gorilla or some shit back in the day. And they struggled for a really long time. And they did eventually, in the end, make a game. And the game did super well, and then I don't think they ever have plans of licensing the engine now, because the game did so goddamn well. But, another example would be, I mean, Big World exists because they set out to make a game, failed, and then licensed the engine because the engine was theoretically good enough. Those are the things that seem to stick, though I guess Unity is a pretty good counterexample. I don't think Unity started out as an engine to make a game. I think they started out just wanting to make an engine. So, maybe I'm wrong. I remember Unity came out of nowhere, as far as I was concerned. Because I guess it hit the colleges after I'd graduated and stuff. Everybody was all like, are you gonna use CryEngine or are you gonna use Unreal? And then one day Unity happened. It's like out of fucking nowhere. The rise of Unity was meteoric too, if you think about it. I mean, as far as... I feel like tech moves pretty slow. But I went from not knowing about Unity to Unity being like a serious contender in the industry in like 2 or 3 years. Who else tried to make an engine? Now I think about it. Ready at Dawn. I think that was their initial goal. Then they pivoted to making a game instead. Well, kind of both. Don't quote me on that though, I'm not entirely sure. Because at the end of the day, nobody wants to license something that hasn't been tested, you know? I think I want to skew you bigger. Ah, shit. Yeah, I know a couple of people that work at Amazon too. Or she's just there. Huge. Like the Marshmallow Man in the Ghostbusters. Creepin'. No, that's terrible. When I started making games, the whole engine terminology wasn't really there. I never got used to thinking that way. For me, making games is using modular disconnected tools like Blender, Photoshop, OpenGL to interpret the output data as I want. Yeah, I don't know. I might have been a bit before my time. When I started out, there was people who were making engines out of 3ds Max. I don't know if they called it making an engine. I think they did. Like the guys that made... Shit, I think one of the first engines I evaluated professionally was the engine for Titan Quest. My first job in the industry was working with Big World, which was an engine. In college, I worked on some homebrewed stuff that was using, like, Ogre 3D. I think the term engine was always there, though, for me. And I've been in the industry about 11 years, 10 years. I have to Google that, I'm not sure how long. I can't think of a time when we didn't refer to them as engines. I mean, you used to call it your rendering engine, initially, right? Because that was, like, the big deal, was rendering in 3D. I've never worked on a game that isn't 3D, so that's the other caveat here. I mean, I fucked around with Flash, but that was to make animations in Flash for fun. That was before I was interested in games. It was a long time I didn't even realize you could do this for a living. Like, for most of my life, I didn't realize you could do this for a living. I mean, to be fair, for most of my life, I didn't realize you could do a lot of things for a living. I was mostly just fucking around. Those first 20 years. Anyway. That's a bit much. I want to pump the yellow without pumping the blue. How am I going to do that? Isn't there a really, really quick way? Oh, what am I thinking? Vibrance. Yeah. I don't know if that actually did what I wanted, but I don't hate it. It didn't. Oh, that's definitely not what I want. At some point I could just cut it out, I guess. Oh, wait. Got some weird red in there when I did that. I swear vibrance gives a better result. Probably doesn't. I'm probably crazy. The editors for the DCC. Yep, I remember those. I remember that shit, man. That was a similar, the Titan Quest engine was like that. The Titan Quest engine was hilarious to evaluate too, because it was basically like, the company that made Titan Quest, I guess, folded, and some dude just owns the right to the code, that isn't, like, I guess different parts, different things were owned by different people, but it was just one dude owns the code, and, he brought it in, like, a suitcase. Like, he didn't give us access to evaluate it and stuff. It was kind of, he physically flew across the country to San Francisco with a suitcase with a laptop with a code on it, and like the programmers had to evaluate it there. It was just it was so, it was a different time. I don't know. We were looking at that one for Marvel Heroes Online in the very early days. You're like, well, Titan Quest is kind of a top-down thing. Maybe Unreal's overkill. I don't know what we want to do. We were evaluating different things. But yeah, it was similar to that. It was 3ds Max files that were read in, if I recall. That was the first one I saw that very seriously took 3ds Max. No. Oh, what's public about the Ready at Dawn engine? What can I say? Hold on. Like, they've presented stuff about it. So, Ready at Dawn was founded by a bunch of people that, were like the... Naughty Dog exists and has some of the best graphics programmers in the world, right? Like, and they've got a lot of incredible programming talent. They have their own engine. Their engine is optimized to completely... Back in the day, it was optimized to completely take advantage of the PS3. It's a fantastic piece of tech, and obviously, like... When it comes to highly, like, beautifully rendered cinematic stuff, Naughty Dog crushes it, and it's partly because of their internal tech. Some people left Naughty Dog and spun off a different studio, Ready at Dawn, with the goal, I think, of making a really sweet engine. And they do have a sweet engine, from what I understand. I interviewed there at one point. It didn't work out for a lot of reasons, but, the tech looked sweet. Their goal was to be like Naughty Dog but better, I guess, as far as the engine goes. And they definitely shopped around their engine for a little while. This was many years ago. I'm pretty out of the loop. I need to go back to GDC and find out what's going on. These days I think the excitement is probably, in my limited understanding, around around Frostbite. I'm pretty excited about that. Pretty curious what Unreal is planning in the long term, because they tend to be moving in apparently every direction at the same time. They're doing a lot of cool shit. They're promoting, if you look at what they're promoting on their channels and stuff, they seem to be promoting a lot of people who are making fully featured, like, animated features in their engine and stuff. I think it's pretty cool that there's people that are literally creating rigs entirely in Unreal. It seems insane, but they're still pushing and they're doing a lot of interesting stuff. I'm curious to see where they go. I think there's a lot of space, though, for a new engine. I think Ready at Dawn, I don't know what they've been up to. They've been quiet for a while. There's, yeah, there's a guy that made a rig in Unreal. Plenard, you should check that out. Like, it's not great. You don't have access to all the tools that Maya has. I mean, you could. I mean, think about it. You have their math libraries. Like, you could technically rig a character in Unreal, right? And they already do a lot of, like, just by the fact that you have Blueprint and you have the ability to set a bone transform on a per bone basis, or filter bones. Like, technically you got everything you need there. You have in-game IK. It's not as... Theoretically, if you wanted to, you could write a plugin that does a better in-game IK than that, right? Like, People do crazy shit. If you give people the ability to do crazy shit, they will do crazy shit. So yeah, I saw somebody who's made like a full humanoid rig entirely in Unreal. I thought that was pretty cool. I'm wondering if Unreal would want to push into that stuff. It's kind of insane. I don't know. I mean, there's benefits there, right? Like, the more of your rig that exists in Unreal, the more realistic your ragdolls can be. Any kind of dynamic motion, any kind of procedural motion can become a lot more... I mean, when we talk about rigs for, like, a real character, like a character that's really complicated, you have a thing where an animator will take the form and lift it and rotate it, but what's really happening is a combination of 6 bones are doing things, right? Like, the animator is only moving one control, but the some of the rotation is distributed across the shoulder. Depending on where you're moving this, the scapula pulls out, the clavicle pulls in. Maybe you have a bone for the armpit that pulls in, like, the kind of the fat in the armpit. You've got your bicep that bulges when you that bulges and unbulges when you have your elbow. You've got just the twist joint. Usually you have at least one twist joint in your bicep to distribute the skinning down the arm. So you've got all these bones that are moving in concert every time the animator moves one control. And you technically, there's more and more of a push to push that stuff so that you don't export it out of Maya. Rather than exporting all that out of Maya, you rebuild that both in Maya and on Unreal. And that way when your ragdoll moves, your ragdoll will also do all those things. Your ragdoll will also have the muscle bulge. There's a reason why ragdolls look like ass. And it's because it's up until recently it's been impossible to reproduce that stuff in Unreal. So there's been more and more pushing that stuff into the engine. It was something that used to appeal to me a lot. Feels like overkill. For a lot of the stuff I work on, it's overkill. The weight painting tools. Yeah, that would be interesting. Do they have that in Unreal? Bullshit. Do they? God, no, I would believe it if you said they did. I just never checked it out. Yeah, you can control materials from within rigs. That's always fun for facial stuff, like having a character kind of like wrinkle maps, that sort of thing. Having the various tendons bulge when you move your neck around. That's all done largely in a lot of rigging stuff. I think it's interesting when it pushes more into blend shapes and texture maps. Oh yeah, the stuff they did for Apex. Yeah, man, I was there in the early days of Apex. It took a while for the Maya tools to get there, and they really didn't, which is probably why Unreal rebuilt them. Or Epic rebuilt them. I like Blutilities a lot, those are cool. I've been using them pretty heavily for this project and at work. I think that's a cool idea. And they do have painting for landscapes, that's true too. I feel like painting weights is such a totally different beast, though. I mean, maybe. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, I'm not gonna say no. Alright, what do we think about this, guys? What do we need to do here? I've been out of it for a bit. Do we like... What do we like? What do we not like? This is obviously garbage. Having her lower is better. I want her to pull back. I want to shrink that again. How do we feel about the black scribble? What are we thinking here? Fuck Apex. Oh yeah. The early, I mean, it was rough in the beginning. They did a lot of cool shit. I think Apex is cool. I wish they'd bring back when I was in AAA, I wanted them, NVIDIA, to push on their in-engine hair stuff too. Also, I mean, I don't understand as a business person why NVIDIA invests in things like making Apex and hair. I honestly, I'm really happy that they do it because it's cool. Like, it's really cool. But that doesn't ship. Does that somehow, in some backwards way, ship more video cards? Maybe if they get people who excited about Apex Cloth? Is there something built into Apex that makes it more likely to run on Nvidia cards than ATI cards? Like, why do they have a whole division dedicated to this stuff? It doesn't make a lot of sense. I mean, it's kind of interesting. There's got to be a reason, like a business case for this, right? It's about the cores. Have you tried outlining the character in white squiggle lines? I don't want to do that. It would deviate too far from the game, and also I just don't think it would look good. Maybe. Oh shit, let me think. The other problem I have is I want to shrink the character down again. That's P1. Like, that character's got to get... It's better when it's small. It needs to pull back. Kai needs to pull forward. This is too intense. Yeah, let's shrink her down. You know, I got the job at Irrational because I wrote up, I wrote them a paper on how I thought they should do Apex, or how I thought Cloth should work. It was one of their questions. They were looking for somebody on the team, and they're like, "We want somebody who's excited about Cloth." And I was like, "Let me tell you, I just spent the last month working on capes for superheroes. Let me tell you everything that you should know about Cloth." I get along real well. It's like my first thing at Irrational was getting that shit straightened out. And it was insane that Nvidia was so helpful. They basically did it. Like, at one point we were just like, we don't know. Here's our files. Make Liz's skirt work. Here's what we don't like. And then they just did it. Which is insane to me. Like, from a business standpoint, I don't understand why they did that. I'm really happy that they did. I just don't get why. Hey, Aslak Crane. Oh, is this Aslak? Hey man, what's up? They want to be seen as innovators in the field? Maybe. In software though, I mean, Nvidia, their core, like, their company exists to make hardware. To make video cards. And I guess to make drivers for those video cards. So having these initiatives they have where they make Cloth and integrate it into the Unreal Engine and maybe make like hair systems and stuff like that. How does that fit into their business strategy? How does that sell more video cards or make their... Does it give them some kind of advantage when it comes time to make their drivers? Like, I just don't get it. Yeah, there's no doubt Apex Cloth is better than Havoc Cloth. I'll pick a side on that one. I like Apex a lot. Now. You wrote your own Cloth Sims Evolution? Sweet, man. For which game? I'm trying to think. I mean, they did all have Cloth, right? Yeah. Did they bake at the Cloth or was it dynamic? Oh, I mean, Nvidia was working on in-engine cloth, like in cloth. Apex cloth runs at runtime. You think they get some funding like from the government? No, nobody's giving Nvidia funding to do this stuff. I don't think so. Maybe, I don't know. Nvidia internally is funding it, I think. I'm not sure why. I don't understand business in general sometimes. Like, Nvidia will have a booth where they'll showcase games. It makes sense to me that Epic has a booth at GDC and at different events where they showcase all the games that are made with the Unreal Engine, because they're like, look at what our engine made. This is sweet. Whereas I remember I went to, I don't know if it was PAX or something, and Nvidia had a booth, but they were just showing off Arc, and this was before Arc had hit. And they're like, look at what our video card is made, I guess. I just don't, maybe it's because I just don't think of them that way. Maybe I'm wrong. It's entirely possible. Yeah, maybe. Gotcha, Meat Plus. Yeah, I do remember the cloth in Saints Row 3. It was a lot of, like, the dangly bits on shirts and stuff. I think for cloth, the very beginning, when things got really real for procedural cloth, I think was, DC Universe was the first game that really because obviously capes. And I mean, the first one to do it right, that was the first, like, cloth. The first one to do it right is obviously Batman. They fucking crushed it, right? Arkham Asylum. But that's so much easier. It's so easy to do long strips of cloths. Even a cape, even Batman's cape, which was, I'm sure, a nightmare, at the end of the day, you don't have to worry about shearing forces. You don't have to worry about, something like a skirt where you're not going to put in the number of polys you need for a cloth to actually fall correctly, and also you're just not going to, how do I put it? Like, there's so much cheating in a skinned mesh, right? Like, the skirt literally, the distance between the verts literally needs to triple sometimes in, like, the U direction. You're just cheating how clothing works. And there's no slit. That's the thing. If you look at a lot of the earlier cloth stuff, there was always a slit so that the cloth could fall to one side of the leg or the other, so they didn't have to deal with the fact that cloth does need to stretch in a kind of in a way that the animator or somebody defines. So to have Liz, who had this long skirt on, that, like, if you look at some of her crouching poses, like, literally her skirt would completely fan out, which was just us pulling the bones out, which was pulling the vertices really, really far apart. There was no cloth sim at the time that could do that until Apex. And then between that and then setting up, like, having it realistically shear, like that kind of shearing between the verts and everything, I don't know. They crushed it. I don't know how they did it. As far as I'm concerned, it's fucking magic. But yeah, Apex is, like, I praise NVIDIA for what they did there. That was cool. The dildo bat improved our simulation. Yeah, well, I mean, you gotta have that hero asset that really pushes you forward, right? You get it working on the one thing. Yeah, that's true, Congo. I feel like there's gotta be, like, if all they want is a beautiful rendered image to sell a video card, I don't feel like they need to just spin up the Apex division and the hair division and all this stuff. I feel like they probably could have waited and then just paid, like, Tomb Raider. I don't know. This goes back to I don't understand business. I think it's cool, though. NVIDIA's a cool company because they do that, in my mind. People do get hyped about hair and stuff, let me tell ya. We're not there yet. One of the things I wanted to tackle at work, if I have the time, is getting really... If you think about the early Disney stuff, like, this is stupid, early Disney princess stuff, but for real, Pocahontas, and a lot of that, not early, but, like, think about Pocahontas. Pocahontas was her hair, and the way that hair is drawn in 2D, and the way that looks, and how it animates and how fluid it is such a huge part of making that animation style work. Like there's moments when she's standing in the mountain and she's just literally standing there and it's still posed and her hair's just like flying around and shit. It sells the wind. Just the dynamics in her cloth and her hair. And I don't feel like we ever really hit that in 3D. Not yet. I feel like we could. Especially in games. I feel like we've got a little bit. We'll get there, but we're not there yet. Something I'd like to push on. Tress effects. Yeah. Yeah, the stuff they did for Tomb Raider was sweet. I saw a talk on that. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's true. I am a dev championing NVIDIA. I guess they wouldn't have that if they hadn't done that. Though again, I would say, like, that's probably a really expensive way to get that, but it is cool. I mean, ATI didn't offer to write us a cloth solution for our video games, so that's pretty sweet. NVIDIA, I haven't seen them do their hair solution. I think they walked away from that. I think they tend to spin up these projects and see if they can get someone to bite. Like, NVIDIA will go to GDC. I was at GDC back when I worked at Irrational, and we were doing this stuff with Liz's skirt in Bioshock Infinite. I was talking to the guy at NVIDIA, and I'm like, hey, you used to have, on your monitors, you used to have, like, a hair simulation thing, and I saw some talks on that online and stuff. Did you guys abandon that? And he's like, oh, if you guys want to see it, we'll put that on the screen. We put on the screen whatever we think people want to see, and then if people want to see it, they respond positively, we work on it. It's kind of just like, if you want it, we'll do it. That's gotta be sweet. I wonder what their life is like. Maybe. You think NVIDIA is just in general trying to promote games? Like, yeah. I don't know. They used Hairworks for Witcher 3. Is that NVIDIA? Hairworks. Witcher 3 is interesting to me. And that they have... Oh shit, yeah, it is NVIDIA. And it was Witcher 3. Look, shit, it's the first thing here. I should look at what else they're doing. I'm not on the bleeding edge stuff anymore. Kinda gotta pick your battles at some point. Cool. Yeah, I don't know. By the way, Aslak, I've been following your Twitter stuff. The working on the facial rig. It's interesting. It's gotta be, like, painful to show stuff that early. 'Cause I saw, like, where you started and where you came, like, where you started and where you ended up so far. Oh, man. I have such a hard time doing that. Like, I have a hard time with this shit. Just doing this, and this is my side project. I can't imagine, like, streaming dev that early. It looks cool, though. God, man. Yeah, like, oh my god. I couldn't do that. Especially because I think my workflow is full random. I have no idea what I'm going to do at any moment. So... I feel like I would just start down a path and then just pivot. People on Twitter would be like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm glad you like it, man. Yeah. Kind. It's coming along. It'll get there. This is hurtful, too. Look at this. It hurts. Why, here's a question. Why am I seeing through this? Oh, shit. Yeah. What I'm doing today, Slack, is I'm trying to come up with an icon. At first I was going to try to do like a first pass in all the marketing materials, but apparently we're really just stuck on this shit. So, I feel like I might just be at the go fish state. Maybe I just gotta go start again. Maybe not. We don't need that purple. Definitely not feeling the purple. I don't have an expected release date yet, Galactic. This is kind of a side project I work on in my free time. We spend way too much time agonizing over Steam banners. Arguably, we don't spend enough. It's what sells the game, right? Marketing materials. Hey Andre, what's up, man? Do you add your game in Steam? Not yet. I'm planning on it. I'm making there's a long list of stuff you gotta have. 5 screenshots, a trailer, a series of images like this one. I have them open actually right now. I have to come up with stuff for all this. And 5 screenshots of the game, which I've kind of started thinking about. So today I'm just thinking about all the things I would need in order to make a Steam page. And I'm probably gonna not get this done until after I get back from GDC. Then I'll make a Steam page so people can wishlist the game. Then I'll make the game. So forth. Eventually, someday, this will be out in the world. But one thing at a time, right? like I'm just taking steps backwards. Maybe I'm not. No. Oh, yeah, Tom, sure. Sorry, man. I missed that. I'm a big fan for the branding of Firewatch. Yeah. We were talking about that earlier. Firewatch, I think their big thing was a lot of negative space and a lot of yellow. Which is kind of like... This stands out to me very brightly. The yellow, most storefronts are kind of either black or like a light blue or blue of some sort, like this one obviously is. So the yellow always pops really well. But yeah, the black silhouette against the yellow was definitely a really strong decision. I liked what they did. After I make the game, I have to make emotes for the chat. Okay. After the game is out. Well, you're giving me a lot of leeway there, Planet. I appreciate that. Your team won an award. Oh, Mass Digi. Yeah. Yeah, was this the, shit, I think Alan went to review some, to judge a bunch of stuff. Yeah, Alan was one of the industry professionals. Yeah, I heard there was quite a few. Hey, congratulations. He said he didn't get to see all the games, that they, when he was reviewing them, the judges got about half the games each, I think. the dumbest way to do this. I'm aware of that. Am I gonna submit kind to BFig? I don't know. Depends, man. Like, the future's so uncertain right now. Because, like I said, we're pitching a game at GDC this year at work for the Molasses Flood, and that's got to be a priority. Like, I spent a lot of this week working on that stuff. At any given time, I might need to put kind down for a bit. I really, really don't want to. But, you know, life. Depending on how things go at GDC with the other game, I'll have more or less time to work on this, you know? And that's just gonna totally change my timeline. Also, puzzle games don't do well in events like that. Like PAX or BFig or something like that. Like single player puzzle games, it's just not... Events like that are so much better if you have a multiplayer game or if you have a highly replayable game or something like that, you know? I don't think it's the right venue for... a lot of things, actually. That's aggressive. starting to look a bit overworked. Yeah, I agree. Needs something though. Definitely pops in a bad way. Holy shit, what? That's not how things work. I was confused. Purple should come up behind her. That's what I'm doing wrong. Oh shit, it's almost time. I completely lost track of time. Somebody keep an eye out for me. It's Saturday. That means it's Rise and Spline, guys. Your favorite Saturday morning cartoon shit? In that it's Saturday morning and you're watching an animator make some cartoony shit. Time is an illusion. Been on that shit too, man. What can I put that'll not blow away things? Shit. There's no easier way to do this, is there? Should have done it like a green screen or something. Damn it. Is there overlay? Darken. Lighten. Time is just a parameter. Alright, what's the easiest way to get this? I have to cut out the character for real. It's time to buckle up and do that. Stop resisting. I wish I knew more about Photoshop right now. Let's make sure this is even worth doing. I bet it is. Alright, Rise and Spline is on. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my good friend. Who is doing this? David Gibson. David Gibson from Blizzard is has a class for Saturday morning where he teaches animation. I support this. You should go. You should learn animation. You should be an animator like Dave Gibson. So, we're gonna rate him as we do every Saturday. And then should probably go get food. And maybe I'll stream later, I'm not sure yet. We'll find out. But thanks for hanging out. It's good seeing you guys. I hope you had a good morning. Let me figure out how to do a raid. Then we'll do that. His name is Poodle Time. Alright, tell him Gwen says hi.